Hey everybody, I'm Chris, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be unboxing the August 2022 Boxycharm base box. So if you'd like to see what's inside just as much as I do, just keep watching because we're getting into it right now. From the email I received from Boxycharm, the theme this month is Dusk Till Dawn. Summer's not over yet, bestie. Here's to soaking up warm nights, dinner dates, and dance parties with looks that last from day to night or night to day, if that's more your style. As always, I have zero clue as to what's in the box. I've avoided all spoilers throughout the month, so let's go ahead and open it up and pull out the card that's right on top that tells what the products are inside the box. Here is our promo card showing the Dusk Till Dawn theme and this really pretty picture. I don't know if that's smoke or water or what that... Oh! I think it's cream in coffee. That is what I think that is. Man, I want some coffee. Won't you guys go to Starbucks for me, please? I'd like a venti cream frappuccino, 3 pumps caramel, 3 pumps toffee nut, caramel drizzle, whipped cream, and 2 shots of espresso affogato. That is my order. It tastes just like butterbeer, except with a lot of extra coffee, because I need my energy. Anyway, let's get to unboxing. First product right on top is from Queen Beauty or Queen Cosmetics, but it's Q-V-E-E-N. Queen Cosmetics. What is this? Bow Down Transparent Brow Glue. Oh, I really hope this is like a laminating product. I love me some brow laminating products. Unfortunately, the previous ones I owned, I used them after I finished my face makeup, so I typically get a bunch of powder mixed in with them. Now, every single time I use them, I get little grains of powder all over my brows, so I will not run into that with this one. I also will clean my brows off after using SPF, because that does the same thing, I've noticed. See what kind of wand we're working with, see if it's just a little spoolie. Oh, it's perfect. This is literally everything I need for a clear brow product. Queen Studio, that's the brand. Not Queen Cosmetics, not Queen Beauty, Queen Studio. Command your brows. This easy to use, non-sticky, flake resistant, super long lasting, transparent formula stays in place for 16 plus hours and has a natural finish that works on any brow color. Armed with a baby spoolie applicator, sweep and shape your eyebrows to perfection. MSRP $16, a really great price, and this is also a new launch to Boxycharm. I know the brand is definitely not, because I have for sure seen some Queen Studio products inside Boxycharm before. So far so good. Let's see if product number 2 is just as good. BFC Beauty for Certain, another brand we have recently discovered within Boxycharm. What do we got here? This looks like a deluxe lipstick in the shade number 18. Looks like a pretty pinky nude. Let's see. Wow, this packaging is super bright. I bet it glows in a black light. That would be pretty. And the lipstick is, yes, it is sort of maybe a little bit of a pinky nude. Kind of hard to see the pink. Maybe that's just a nude. I guess that is my perfect nude because I don't see anything, or it just didn't come off onto my lips. Okay, if that is in fact that color, I love this lipstick. That is literally my lips. Generate, originate. Choose only the finest with BFC's long-lasting deluxe lipstick, delivering that extra matte finish, silky smooth application, and a velvet texture you crave. MSRP $18 again, and another new launch to Boxycharm. So far we've got brows and lips. Now we've got Galactic Metallic Eye Sparkle. Not a metallic shadow, not a metallic glitter, but a metallic eye sparkle. Ooh! It's a really pretty bronzy color, like a deeper bronze, like a dark copper, I guess. It seems to be a very high pigment product that is a very robust color, but the reflect is super metallic. They were not lying when they said metallic. I don't really see any sparkle though, or not any glitter pieces or anything. Oh, there they are. They kind of come through once really intense light hits it. Then you can see the little tiny pieces of glitter. Velvety and easily blendable, this metallic cream shadow formula creates a high reflex, sparkling finish that's easy to apply, blends easily, and wears all day. MSRP $20. For liquid shadow, that's pretty good because usually they go a long way, and with how thick and pigmented that one looks, I'm assuming it's probably gonna be the same way. That makes brows, lips, and eyes. The next product is for the face. It's a face palette, the Glow Perfect palette from OPV Beauty London. Okay, at first I thought this was really ugly and I was like, why would they make a palette look like that? But now I realize it's just gonna be really, really satisfying to take it off and watch it become beautiful. Oh, look at it. Look at the beautiful reflection of the metallic finish that I'm soon going to ruin. Don't you just love metallic packaging? Whoa, the palette itself is very dark. It says that this is the shade 1. So like, does that mean it's the lightest? Because that's pretty dark. I don't see me being able to use that as a bronzer, as a contour. What does it even say it is? It doesn't have any kind of shade names or anything on it, so I don't know what it is. Let's watch it though. I'm assuming these are both probably highlighters. Maybe the orange one could be like a blush lighter. Let's see. The contoury shade, that's kind of warm. Maybe that is a bronzer. The middle highlight, much lighter. Ooh, very pink. Pinky orange, maybe, perhaps. And then the really orange. Oh, wow, okay, yeah. There's no way I could use that as a highlighter. The middle one, for sure. I could use it as a highlighter and even an inner corner highlight. And it does actually have a little bit of oranginess to it, so really good for summer. The orange though, I think that's gonna be something that I have to use on the eyes, like an eyeshadow or maybe a monochromatic look, knowing that I'm gonna need an orange highlighter that actually looks orange, because I'm sure it's gonna leave a cast on my skin. However, I will say, regardless of the actual shade, those highlighters were creamy AF. They felt like butter. And I like butter on my face, as long as it's non-comedogenic. Okay, let's see. As part of the new Glow Perfect collection, this multi-purpose face palette contains a magical trio of highlighter, bronzer, and blusher. Okay, got it. Proven to be the perfect multifunctional beauty kit in true OPV beauty style, Glow Perfect colors are heavily pigmented, which allows them to really pop on the skin. Each formula delivers shade longevity and will stay put for the duration of the day following application. MSRP $34, not terrible for 3 different products, and it's also a new launch. So that makes 3 brand new launches from 3 different brands inside the August Boxycharm. And now for the 5th and final product inside this month's box. It's something from LaRousse, so probably brushes, a brush kit. Wow, that is hot. I like this a lot. Oh, that's gonna look so good sitting up here on my desk holding my brushes. It's so industrial looking. And it feels like there's brushes inside. How many did we get? We got 5 brushes. I count 2 face brushes and 3 eye brushes, probably. This one kind of looks like a concealer brush, but it also looks like you could use it as a metallic shadow brush to pack something on the lid. Blush brush, and maybe duo fiber cream product brush? Those are my guesses. Let's see if they're right. So this is called the Christine set. This Christine set includes a duo fiber cheek brush, a small angled cheek brush, a small concealer brush, a small flat shader brush, a medium domed blending brush, and a graphite petite Rennie cup. MSRP $50. Well, I guess $50 for 5 brushes and a case. That's putting it like $10 a brush and a free case. That's not so bad. They're definitely not as expensive as they could be. Now that we've seen all 5 products inside this month's Boxycharm, give me just a second to get my skin prepped and ready off camera, and we're gonna go in with some of these products and see how they turn out. Okay, I've got a little bit of a base on, just some foundation, concealer, and a little bit of powder. I also cleaned my brows with an alcohol pad and a spoolie, so hopefully there's no powder in them. Now let's see if this brow glue is actually gonna get my brows to stick. There's a lot of brow hair there, so it's gonna take a lot of work, I'm sure. So let's just run it all through first. Make sure we get them nice and coated, then the other direction. Well, I can tell already it's definitely not a laminating product. Every time I use one of those, it's super thick, really goopy, almost like Elmer's glue. And it takes a lot more work to get the brow hair straight up, but they actually go straight up. This doesn't do that. It coats them well, holds them in place, but it doesn't like mush them into place. In other words, I put it up there more with a brow gel rather than like a laminating product. It's just not that strong or thick enough. Even though that product doesn't work like a brow laminator, I still really like what it did for my brows. It's definitely just a brow gel, but it's for sure one of the better brow gels I've tried. Now let's see if OPV Beauty can give us something to work with. I'm gonna just use the same brush that I used in my powder because this is so pigmented and so dark. I kind of want to dilute it down a little bit and build it up slowly to see if it will. Oh my gosh, it even picks up a ton the moment you put the brush in it. Oh, this is terrifying. Okay, let's just start on the temple and see what happens. Oh no. Oh no. Please blend. Oh, please blend. Wow, that is way too dark for me. What is happening? What have I done? Okay, it's kind of disappearing somewhat. Okay, so it takes literally the tiniest bit of this. It's really red on my skin tone anyway. Man, it's just so pigmented. Okay, we are getting somewhere now. I don't know if that somewhere is where I want to be or not, but at least we're progressing to something. I just don't know that this shade is gonna be for me. Whew, that was way more blending than I anticipated doing. But with just the little bit that I built up, here's where I stand. I don't know that I love this bronzer. It's just so dark and it takes so much work. The formula seems nice. It seems really pretty once it does get blended out. Just the color's so dark for me. Since all I've got for the eyes is the liquid eyeshadow, I'm actually gonna take a little bit of this bronzer as well and the wide brush from LaRousse and just add a little bit of that into the crease to give me a little bit of dimension before I go in with the shimmer shade. I know some people that can go in with all shimmer shades and make the look amazing. I'm not one of those people. I can't do that. I think I've just got way too much texture all over my eyes for that to look good. So I'm just gonna focus this in the crease all the way around. See how red that looks? On the eyes, it's so much more obvious that it's very red looking. We'll go ahead and add that to the lower lash line too, just to make it cohesive. Make sure everything fills in both sides. Even though this shade doesn't look that great on my skin for a bronzer, I actually really like it on the eyes. I think it looks really pretty. Very neutral, very wearable, just like you would expect a bronzer to be. With the bronzer shade now applied, I definitely gotta do some blending because this is a little harsh, I think. So I'm gonna take just the bigger fluffy brush that came in the brush kit and just lightly go around these edges and buff them out so they're not so sharp and intense. It's so nice when I don't have to work to blend, when things actually just melt into place like I feel like they are supposed to do. Now moving on to Galactic, I did clean off the brush that I used for the brown just to make sure there wasn't any existing pigment on it, and I'm gonna use that one to try and move this around. I feel like the concealer brush might give us a little bit of a problem if this liquid shadow works like I think it does, but it may not. Let's just find out together. Oh wow, for some reason that looks very different when it's by this red brown. It actually looks like it's about the same color. On the back of my hand, that looked a whole lot darker than that. Hey, it went on really nicely. It looks super smooth, very metallic looking. Let's see if we can't get these edges to blend. Now I understand the sparkle part of this. Once you actually start blending it around and it's not just a layer of the product being like super intense like it was on the back of my hand. Now I understand the sparkle part of this. Once you actually start blending it around, it turns into more of this sheer, sparkly kind of formula instead of that like super sharp metallic kind of look. That looks a lot more natural and very wearable. You know what? I actually think that this kind of product might be better just taking it right onto the brush, then applying some of it? Well, actually, it looks the exact same both ways, so do it however you want. Ever since our last liquid shadow fiasco, I try to be very careful on how much liquid eyeshadow I use because I don't do things in moderation. I just throw a bunch of stuff on. That being said, I'm gonna add just a little bit more. I know, just a little bit more, but I'd say just a tiny bit more on the brush directly and see if I can't just build up a second layer. I don't want to build it up too much. I really want it to be just through the center since I sort of have this little bit of a spotlight halo eye going on, but I'm curious to know if the intensity can be built up because that right there is super reflective. Good to know, it can be built up. And it seems like the more it gets built up, the better it looks. I'm pleasantly surprised by this. The packaging kind of threw me off because it feels pretty affordable, but the results those are for sure Lux. Okay, for this next part, I'm horrified. I don't know how it's gonna work out, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try a little bit of the orange blusher and see what happens. I'm gonna use this duo fiber brush to pick it up, so maybe it won't pick up as much pigment as quickly. There's a few little dots of color right on the end of those duo fiber bristles, so we're just gonna pat those on and see what happens. I don't wanna look. Does it look good? Let me know in the comments, tell me. Does that look okay so far? Can you even see anything? It's getting orangey-ish. I see like a orangey Miami glow. I'm not mad at that. It does add just a little bit of glow to the skin, but it's not a whole lot, probably because I'm building it up so slowly, because in the pan, that is very, very reflective. Oh, like that is. That's much more reflective now. But in the places closer to the front of my cheeks, where I just kind of pat on some of what's left on the brush, I really like the way that looks. It doesn't have a whole lot of the shimmer coming through, but you can still see that oranginess that it's got, so it's very summer-esque, very bright, flamey cheeks. I bet you these pans are probably gonna last forever because, well, literally, it takes this much, just 3 little boop boops, and I've got orange. Right there. Takes a little more work to blend that out. Same thing as with the bronzer situation, where it goes on really strong and then you have to blend. But with this one, probably because of the brush, it's not building up super quickly like the bronzer did, and it's much easier to blend out because of that. Again, probably because of the brush. Those duo fiber bristles leave you like half the bristles at the end of the brush, so as long as you don't push hard into a pan, you're gonna get much less product. And for my final act with the face palette, I'm gonna use the big blushy brush, probably a mistake again, but I'm gonna go into the pink shade here. Wow, this one doesn't want to pick up at all on this brush versus the bronzer and the orange highlighter, blusher, they like to pick up. Unless this pink one should have been the blusher. Anyway, this one I'm just gonna put on the highest point of my cheek. I want it to act mainly as my highlighter, not really my blusher as much. Oh wow. Man, I'm glad I made that decision. That looks so much better. It sort of toned down the orange dark reflect I had and brightened it up a little bit, made it more of a natural color for me and my skin tone. Actually, now that I look at that, it looks like it's giving me wet looking skin, like glowy, dewy kind of skin. And you don't normally see a product do that afterward. It typically takes building up like with your primer or your foundation or even liquid products that you mix in. Not usually in the end with a powder do you get a wet look. Makes my lines look much smoother. Much smoother. And of course, while I'm at it, I'm gonna add just a little bit to the inner corner, give a little bit of pop there. You know what? Maybe I'll do a little bit of brow bone too. Why not? Look at that versatility. I can make it a super wet looking glow, or I can just add a hint of lightness, and it just gives a little bit of reflect. Well, I guess I have now discovered the perfect version of pink highlighter for my skin tone, because you can't see a single bit of pink from that, or I can't see a single bit of pink from that. And finally, to finish everything off, let's see if this nude lipstick will still look nude now that I've taken all my lip balm off. Earlier when I attempted to try it, I thought about the fact that this is a matte formula and I had a plumping lip balm on, so it kind of thinned it out, and maybe that's why I couldn't actually see any real color coming off of it, rather than it just being the exact same color as my lips, but it may still be. I feel like we'll find out better now this time though. Yeah, That definitely went on a lot faster and a lot clearer. I can see that it's got a little bit of an orangey tint to it, which I don't mind. Not with this look anyway. Everything kind of goes that orangey, more warmer direction, but it is still a very perfect nude for me and my lip color. Okay, lips are done. Does it even look like I have anything on? Because I don't think it does. I think this is just literally my perfect nude. And when it comes to the formula, it is definitely a non-drying matte formula. It still feels really creamy and pillowy on the lips, so I know it's going to transfer. I can feel that it's going to transfer. So definitely not gonna be touching my lips on anything. Now that we got the lips done, I'm gonna pop off camera, throw on some eyeliner and some mascara just to finish off the eye look, and I'll be right back with my final thoughts on the August 2022 Boxycharm Base Box. The look is finished. So what do you guys think? You know, everything came together very nicely in the end. I was slightly terrified a couple of times just because of that bright orange, that very dark bronzer, but I think it all worked out in the end. Luckily, the color stories of everything worked well enough together that it came together as a pretty cohesive look, a pretty cohesive color story as well. It's not quite monochromatic, but it's not quite a rainbow. The Galactic Liquid Shadow really surprised me. It worked so much better than I thought it would, only because it felt kind of not Luxe. It just goes to show you don't have to have Luxe packaging to have a bomb formula inside. The brow glue though, I feel like this should not be called a brow glue. I feel like it should just be called a brow gel, because that's pretty much what it works like. Glue insinuates that it's not gonna move anywhere. Well, it might not move. Oh wow, no, okay, that's not gonna move. They are definitely in place, but it didn't get them up like a laminated brow would have. So I guess it is still a glue, it's just not what my brain immediately interprets when I see the name brow glue. I think it's gonna laminate. This is not laminated, but it is firm, it is in place, so I gotta give it to it for that. Lipstick, definitely gonna be a new favorite nude because it's perfect. And we already know La Rousse brushes work really well, or at least if you are familiar with my channel, you know that they work really well. They're part of my normal collection that I use every day, so I already knew those were gonna be good. Let me know which one out of the 5 you think is the best item to be in this month's Boxycharm. Was it the amazing liquid eyeshadow, or the brushes, or the lipstick, or did you really like the face palette? Maybe it worked a whole lot better for you than it did for me. Probably not very difficult to achieve if you just try. But let me know in the comments, let's talk about it. You guys know that I'm always hanging out down there with you. And hey, if you liked this video, if you enjoyed watching it a little bit, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and also hit the subscribe button. Since I know you just hit the subscribe button, go ahead and hit the little bell right beside subscribe. That way you can actually be notified when I upload a new video and you won't have to wait for your friends to tell you about it. You can be the one telling your friends that I uploaded a new video. Oh, and hey, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, then please at least gain this. And that is to always remember and never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. No matter what anybody tries to tell you, you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye.